What's going on, shipmates? We are back here in Echo. Another week, another reset. We got some new things going on. I'm actually transitioning, trying to find a new place to do my recordings. So if the background's a little weird or anything like that, just please bear with me as I'm trying to adjust for all that. So other than that, I hope you guys are enjoying the tier list, getting a lot of views, a lot of new followers. So all those new shipmates that are coming in, welcome to the fleet. Thanks for subscribing and following me and keeping along on these videos. So other than that, we're going to just go over some new patrols, the new mini events going on. The Age of Brocade, which is the newest story event for MR Phoebe there. As you can see, I've already got her. And then we also have a MR Neolith running right now. So we'll check that out as well. So here we go. First things first, mini events, not too many. The Awakening Journey is still going on. So if like, just keep getting the free units, the free resources, the free summons at the bottom. Once again, these red summons have their own section in the summoning banner. So when you guys do get the 10s, they'll have their own place. Here, we'll do a quick little, so down here, it's going to be here in the Star Path. At this moment, there's only these 3 to pick from, but if you don't have them, definitely suggest Anna. If you guys have seen the tier list, I needed Serene to complete some other things, and Mel is in bad as well. So just little keynotes on that. Other than that, we do have the modulate star. We have living metal, right, for the vibration arms. 20 summons for those. 2 days left, so you can still kind of use those if you do decide to go after Phoebe. And then the Witch's Star is here for also another 2 days. That one's okay. Like I said, not the witches, they come and go. Now, key thing about the witches summoning batter, real quick, is when you summon for them, you get pieces, not the actual witch. So that's your wish list. We have 3. We have Prinny, Nightingale, and the newest one, Lilith, which I believe there's actually another one coming soon, which I think might be a MR. I can't remember who it was, but that's just a heads up on that. But here, I'll show you. We'll do the 10 right here. This is what the summons look like. I'll open it up. And this is what you get. You see here, I got 5 pieces for Lilith Echo, because that's who I'm kind of focusing on right now. And then a bunch of these Exlers, concentrates. This is all used to upgrade and increase the power of whichever witch you have, or whichever one you want to focus on. So that's how that works. And then once you have enough pieces, then you can actually summon and pull them all together. And look, you actually got some stuff here. So we can claim that. And then switching it back over to the summons again. Now, there is right here, Discorded Key. This is also back. It has changed, so it's MR Masa at the moment here. Still got 4 days left. And if you don't know, if you press this disorder pack, there is a free right here. Not free, it's like 400, almost 500 more fight, but it's about 4 summons, 3 to 4 summons you get from that, including the free ones you get from doing the dailies here. So not too bad. The 2 main grand prizes here is going to be a MR vibration arm selection chest, which isn't bad. You got those 4 right there. And then an UR one in case you do have some URs or SSRs, that you're focusing on. You can use those to grab those vibration arms and fully max those out. Or if you didn't have them, grab them. This is the grand prize. Case selection, MR. You have Masa there that is featured. Katana, Kala, and Nana. Those 4 there you guys can look up on the tier list. But essentially, me personally, Kala is good. She does do kind of pretty decent damage. I believe she's more of a single target than a group. So not bad. I mean, you do need a single target, at least one in your group, just to concentrate that high damage to somebody on the opposing team. A Katana is decent. Out of the 2, I'll pick one of those 2. And if not, you have the UR and SSR selectors as well. if you're focusing on that. You can do 5 at a time here. You can see that. I'll do 5. Bam. You get those prizes. I'm going to go ahead and use these up just so you guys can see. That's a one-time. And there is, I don't believe, because this is fairly new, there's not really a I was going to say I haven't, because this is like the second time he participated in this. The first run, those are my draws, and I haven't gotten the grand prize yet. It's actually going to tell you. Okay, cool. No. Okay. But anyway, moving on. Still here for 4 more days. You can definitely participate and still take part of that. Now, patrol-wise, we got Shiny Ceremony, Nebulous Nightmare, Lights and Laughter is back. If you guys remember, I did cover this a while ago. Essentially, it's another little area to get some free stuff. You get these little tiles, mahjong tiles, and then you go into, I believe it's here. Yep, and you use these tiles to match everything up. You get that star bloom is what you're kind of aiming for. Let's see, how many do I have? 21. We'll just do 1. So essentially you're gating these tiles, and as soon as you unlock a full tile row, you get those prizes. Now, of course, you're getting these this grand prize here of these little fireworks or whatnot. No, not that one. That's for reaching the floors. Oh, the star bloom right here in the bottom corner right. So you see I have 10 that I can use. You press it, bam, and you get some resources up top. As you can see there, getting more. We got some obtain wishes. Bam, 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 bam. Hold it down, use it all up. Then you use those, come down here to the shop, and then you use the resources. You got decent amount of selection here for these. So you got Witch, you got Cloud Matrix, you got most of the summons: Neolith, Gashbond, Living Metal, and Regular. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these real quick, right? And once you hit a certain amount of spend, as you can see here, once you hit 1,000, or I'm sorry, 10,000, you unlock the second tier, which is even more, right? More stuff to get. And then if you are grinding it out, hit that third tier, you have even more. Look at that, some selection chests, a Neolith selection chest, which is great because we only have 3 MRs, so definitely catching up on that. Vibration arm, the generic Neolith fragment is good as well, so definitely good stuff to come in, try it out, and definitely just see how far you can get those rewards. Euphoria City has been reset and it's back. I have not activated this one, but it's here for till April 11th, so you got about a couple more weeks. Even with my updated team, I've only gotten to Hall of Euphoria, not that far. So don't be surprised if you guys can only clear the first or the second tower. It does get a little hard. So other than that, everything else in the patrols is the same. And now we're moving on into the Age of Brocade. So this is the story event, right, for Phoebe, the newest MR that they've added. Everything here has been the same. Very interesting things though. It does say part 1, which I'm very interested in. We have 6 more days, 1 more week to kind of run through this and get everything you need. But like I said, everything's the same. The missions, the dailies, the shop has been the same. Actually, did I get the summons already? I did. Okay, so that's the same. Your boss is going to be a Shiri. So now, the one thing that has changed is the story mode. It's the expedition type. All 3 chapters are unlocked, but we do now have 15 instead of 12, as you can see here. Stages to go through for each chapter. Now, the cool thing is that we get more free Morphites. So you get it at the 1, the 4, the 7, the 10th stage, 13, and yeah, and the 13th. That's a free 45 more fights. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 90 plus that's 135 plus the 300 you get from there. So 300 plus that, you're getting about 500 to 550 per chapter, all 3 chapters. That's a little bit over 1500. So you're getting a free 10 summon by going through and getting all and knocking out all 3 chapters. So something to look forward to. That has changed from last time, because before, when you added up, we only had 12 stages and it was only about 1400, so it was like a little less. So you weren't a full 10 summon, but pretty close. But now with the change, we are getting the full 10 summon. Now that was that. Let's move on. Next we're going to be going into the the Neolith. Here we go. MR Graham. This is the second of 3 MR Neoliths that we have at the moment. So let's take a look. These are the attributes: 26,000 HP, 1382 for attack. Let's take a look at the skills and see what it does. So, Graham says a dragon, transform into an evil that despises all who convent its horde. Graham breathes out to deal Neolith damage equal to 297% attack to the front row enemies, the 3 in the front. And then back row allies become the horde for 2 rounds. And what happens when they are in the horde? They are on active attacks. Deals additional damage equal to 120% attack to enemies with greed. Triggers up to once per round. Also permanently increases crit damage by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. So that is for back row allies. My fault. I thought it said enemies. But so the back 3 on your team become part of this horde, which is a pretty decent. I mean, crit damage is always good, right? So 15% max on that. Now let's take a look at the second skill here. At the start of odd rounds, inflicts Neolith damage, 297% attack on front row enemies again. Okay. And applies 1 stack of greed to them. So that's a 3 in the front, lasting until the end of the battle. Okay, perfect. Triggers 2 times per battle. And what is greed exactly? It makes people lose their sanity. Each stack increases damage taken by 5%. So with greed, they're going to have an increased max amount of 15% of more damage being done. Plus, with the horde effect, your back row allies are doing 120% more damage to those enemies with greed. So essentially, altogether, the 3 in the front, by the time both of these two skills have been activated, are going to be taking 135% more damage from your back row allies. Very interesting strategy. Might want to put a couple of DPS, maybe just one DPS AoE possibly in the back to do a lot more damage, you know. So not bad. Definitely a little bit more focused on the damage part, where the arrow that I have right now is more a little bit on the buff side and healing, not too much on actually damage. So we're gonna run through this. As you can see here, I've been saving Neolith summons. I got 271 more, and we're at 84 summons. Let's see if we can get the Neolith without hitting the pity. All right, so 20 summons there. Oh, we got some fragments. Cool. We're at 104. Nothing. Oh, that's new. I don't have that. I don't have a lot of Neoliths. So I have most of the what you call it? Yeah, I should get it here. Wow. Okay. I have most of the R and the SRs, but SSRs I only had a couple of them. Oh, there it is. That was weird because a red didn't pop up. So we got the MR gram. There we go. A few fragments. Some other stuff that I see. Okay, that's the SSR arrow, not the MR. So, bam, we got it. We'll be able to add that to the team. Still 211 summons, so we'll wait till hopefully the next one, which is it's not in here. um, the gloves, the MR gloves. Also, since we're moving on, right before I actually go over Phoebe, I wanted to say, so your daily 10 draws that you get in your mail, they have updated this. So as you can see here, they have actually added URs to this now. I just noticed this because when I did this earlier in the week, I actually got Kabui, which is funny because she might be the next unit or case, and I'm actually going to max out star breakthrough wise. So that's very interesting. But they've added these 5: Dominica, Sharon, Ring, Sphinx, and Kabui, along with their coordinating vibration arms. So just to look out. Now, the reason everybody's here. Here she is, MR Phoebe. The other correspondent is Ashiri. She's here for 2 more weeks. Phoebe is here for only 6 more days, so 1 more week. I did briefly go over her in the tier list, so we're going to kind of go over her now. And I'll kind of do this kind of quick so it's not too long. Like I said, I believe the rank I gave her was S, possibly SS, and that's mainly because of the possibilities of her weather sense. So she does first skill here, front row enemies 157% attack with 5 stacks, or she gains 5 stacks of weather sense, and also gains Q mastery, which is increases element crit rate by 20%, right? So very interesting, right? It kind of changes the equipment aspect, and same of the gear that you can add to her, maybe focusing a little bit more on crit rate and crit damage instead of just main pure DPS, because she's already going to be doing high percentages because she is a DPS unit. Secondary skill here, we got 200% damage to all enemies, so full AoE, then gains 10 stacks of weather sense. Also dealing damage to 300% attack to all enemies again, and increases the damage of the strike by an additional 50%. So that's twice she's hitting, okay? Phoebe gains Relv Scroll for 3 rounds, and what is that? When she actively attacks, inflicts living canvas on 2 random enemies for 2 rounds. Also dealing damage equal to 300% attacks to enemies carrying living canvas. So not only is she keeping on giving out living canvas, but those who already have it are getting 300% attack to them done again. Triggers up to once per round. So that's her second skill, right? So essentially, if a unit has living canvas and she's attacking them, it's the 200 plus the 300 plus another 300, right? Not too bad. Side note, she gets 10 stacks. So at this moment, from her first skill, which is 5, she's at 15 stacks, right? Just keeping that in mind. As we can look at her limit break skill, or her ultimate right here. Let's see, water damage equal to 326% damage, attack to all enemy, and gains 15 stacks of weather sense. So at this point in time, she has 31 stacks. Enters Celestial Echo for 2 rounds, and applies Tide Lock to 1 random enemy for 2 rounds. So what is the Echo? Increases damage bonus by 20%. At the end of each round, she deals water magic damage equal to 200% attack to all enemies. So that lasts for 2 rounds. So she's doing whichever damage she's doing with whatever skill, and then an additional 200% attack, full AoE. Additional damage is applied based on the number of times Phoebe is healed while Echo is active. Each healing adds 40%, capped at 400% of Phoebe's attack, right? Interesting. Now, if you have a good healer like Lucine or Bion who are getting these healings to their teammates pretty actively, that can add up pretty quick. Tide Lock prevents actions and passive effects, cannot be removed. Reduces healing received by 50%. At the end of the round, the target takes additional water magic damage equal to 300% of Phoebe's attack. So a lot of damage is being done. Okay, so I'm pointing that out first before we get kind of into the weather sense. So last one here, the passive. Where does it start? Right here. Yeah. Okay. Constantly mapping increases her water damage by additional 30% on top of everything else, right? This is passive, so it activates as soon as the start of the battle. While Phoebe is alive, whenever a character receives healing, she gains 1 stack of weather sense for the entire battle. At the start of a regular round, applies living canvas to the front row enemies for 2 rounds. So as you can see there, now reminder, this is max stars, right? Max breakthrough, 7 stars. This one actually, if you want to get technical, when you 3-star her, this is when this part activates. But at the start of battle, she's also giving out living canvas to the front row enemies for 2 rounds. And as you remember, the living canvas is doing additional, 300% damage on top of everything else. Insane. And then here at the end, water element damage plus 30%. just because we're already adding and increasing damage. So here we go. Weather sense. Passive doesn't. She gains. That's for the healing. So weather sense. Each stack of weather sense increases Phoebe's active skill damage by 1%, up to a max of 50%, right? After gaining more than 10 stacks, Phoebe increases her damage based on the enemy's healing reduction. And she does have that as one of her effects on her one of her skills or attacks. For every 1% healing reduction, her damage to the enemy is further increased by 1%. Very interesting. At 30 stacks, Phoebe's damage to enemies affected by control effects is increased by 30%. When dealing active damage to these enemies, she also deals additional damage equal to 200% attack, up to once per round. At 50 stacks, Phoebe deals damage equal to 300% attack to all enemies. For each additional stack of weather sense, her damage is further increased by 10%. Okay, a lot going on, a lot of kind of things to keep track of when you're kind of working with this unit. But man, is the damage insane. I mean, at this point in time, by the time she uses all 3 of her attacks and her ultimate, her water element damage has increased by 60%. She is at, I just want to double check. So this was 5. We're doing 10. So it's at 15. And here, another 15. So by time she's done, has used her ultimate there, her limit break skill, she's at 30 stacks. That's kind of probably maybe round 3, right? If everything goes well, possibly round 2. At worst case scenario, probably round 4. But by the time you hit round 5 and 6, she's past that 5 or that 50 stacks of weather sense and doing additional 300% damage, 30% increased damage, the crit rate, the multiple times, the units with that have the living canvas. She's doing a lot of damage here. This is why I was so on the verge of giving her the SS, the highest ranking of my tier list, mainly because of just that possibility. I mean, if you have a good healer that's healing every round, she could be at 40 stacks by the time she's done with her, and then it's just 40% increased damage. It's really insane, this unit. A definitely must have. I did get her. I'm gonna add her to the team. I'm gonna try her out, see how much damage I can actually make her output, which will be very, very interesting. Other than that, the only reason why I kind of kept her in the S is because it does take a little while to build up. It would be great if she could just start off doing all this craziness, but you got to play a little bit of the long game. I mean, most of the battles I'm having at my level are lasting 10 to 15 rounds, so a lot of damage being done, a lot of build up. But that would be the only thing. If she could achieve all that by time she does her ultimate at 30 stacks, that would be even better. Then she would definitely be SS. So other than that, shipmates, that's all I got. I'm gonna end it on these random summons, see if I get her early. But once again, thanks for watching. Welcome to all the newcomers, all the new shipmates to the fleet. We're here, we're sailing, traveling different games. If you're new to the channel, I try to do different types of games. Echo, as you can see and tell, is my number one, and then I follow a few other games that I have that I post, try to post throughout the week. Anyway, but other than that, we're gonna do one more because I don't want to go below 15. That's kind of like my threshold, but I do want to get her at least 1 star. Oh, a lot of SSRs. A lot of SSRs. Where am I at now? 33. All right, that's about it, shipmates. I appreciate everybody, all the likes, the comments. Once again, the new subscribers. So other than that, thanks for watching. Look out for my next video. I am working on a team building because I did see a few of you shipmates ask about that, like, okay, how exactly with all this information now do I really put the team together? Does it matter if they're faction, this, that? Can I have multiple like URs with SRs, working with MRs, all this kind of stuff? So that is something I am working on currently. So hopefully I can get that out within a week or so. I still got a lot personally going on. I don't want to get you guys too involved with all that nonsense. But other than that, thanks for watching. Once again, for everyone's in following seas, I'll see y'all next time.